We're at the point in the NBA season where it's still too early to make any grandiose declarations about how things will end up, but we've also seen enough to notice some substantial developments. In my last video, I discussed 5 star players that were disappointing everyone because of how badly they've been struggling, so today we're going to the opposite end of the spectrum. Specifically, in today's video, we will be discussing the 5 players that have been shocking everyone with how well they've been playing, as they're all exceeding expectations and arguably breaking out as legitimate stars in the league. These are players who have flashed prior potential, but now they're putting it all together. Before we start though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but I'd also very much appreciate it. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first player shocking everyone so far this season is Tyrese Max of the Philadelphia 76ers. This summer was filled with nothing but chaos for the Sixers franchise, as all of the attention surrounding the team was being hogged by James Harden and his dramatic saga leading to his exit from the team. With Harden and his playmaking prowess no longer being in the mix, the team was in desperate need of somebody to step up and fill the void left behind by him, and that is exactly what Maxey has been doing for them. The expectation was for the Sixers to see a bit of a drop-off as a whole, but Maxey is emerging as one of the best guards in the Eastern Conference already, so they're still in the mix at the top of the East, just one game back of the Boston Celtics in the standings. Every single season of Maxey's career, he has taken a big leap forward, so maybe we should have seen this coming, but it's still unbelievable watching how much he improves every time. No matter how big his role gets, or how much his usage increases, he remains as a model of efficiency as a scorer, as evidenced by his production this season averaging about 27 points per game, good for 11th best in the league, while shooting the ball 47% from the field and 43% from 3. He even made his emergence known league-wide when he dropped 50 points against the Indiana Pacers about a week ago. Without Harden running the show, Maxey has even embraced more of a facilitator role, with the ball in his hands more often, and he's dishing out about 7 assists per game too. And now he and Joel Embiid run one of the best two-man games in the NBA. The Sixers are probably still one big piece away from truly contending for a title, but Maxey's emergence has definitely alleviated the pressure on them to rush to find that piece. The next player shocking everyone so far this season is Tyrese Haliburton of the Indiana Pacers. If your name is Tyrese, you're probably doing pretty well this year. But seriously though, Haliburton right now is doing everything you could possibly want from a point guard and more. The Pacers as a unit are one of the most pleasant surprises league-wide with how well they've been playing, putting themselves firmly in the playoff picture, and Haliburton is pretty much at the heart of all of their success right now. At the moment, the Pacers have the league's #1 ranked offense by a pretty wide margin, scoring 122.6 points per 100 possessions. They also, unsurprisingly, have been playing at the league's fastest pace, basically running their opponents out of the gym with how fast they play and how quickly they get quality shots. Haliburton is unbelievable in transition, pushing the pace, at initiating the offense, and making the right decision based on what he's presented with, and he does so without forcing things. The fact that he has the Pacers running such a fast-paced offense while still being as absurdly efficient as he is has him firmly in the conversation for being the best guard in the Eastern Conference. He's leading the entire NBA in assists, dishing out 12 per game, and he's doing that while also scoring about 25 points per game, shooting the ball 52% from the field and 46% from 3. After last season, we all knew Haliburton was an all-star caliber player, but he has somehow managed to take his game to a whole new level. The next player shocking everyone so far this season is Scotty Barnes of the Toronto Raptors. Barnes was the Rookie of the Year 2 seasons ago, winning the award in a pretty strong draft class, so going into last season there was a lot of hype and excitement about his development and potential. Unfortunately though, last season was a weird one for Barnes, as he took a bit of a step back in a few areas and didn't really look as confident on a regular basis as he did as a rookie, during a season that didn't really go how the Raptors hoped it would. could. This year, though, is a completely different story, and after a lot of questions about what kind of direction the Raptors would be going in, they seem to have handed Scotty Barnes the reins, which has really allowed him to blossom. On a team that still has Pascal Siakam and OG Anunoby on it, Scotty Barnes is now playing like the top dog on the team, leading the way for them in scoring, rebounding, steals, and blocks, while also ranking second on the team in assists per game, behind only point guard Dennis Schroeder. He's involved in every way as he's been attacking defenses off the dribble more often, he's much more comfortable spotting up as a three-point shooter and firing with a quick release, and his versatility on defense has been very noticeable as it has been from the beginning of his career, as he causes havoc for whoever gets his matchup that night. He's averaging just under 20 points per game, along with 9 rebounds and 6 assists, and he's shooting the ball better than he ever has, making 48% of his shots and 39% of his threes, making basically a jack-of-all-trades forward, impacting the game across the board. The next player shocking everyone so far this season is Alperen Sengun of the Houston Rockets. Since his rookie season, Sengun has been called Baby Jokic because of how similar his playstyle is to the multiple-time MVP winner, and while Jokic still clears him and pretty much the rest of the league comfortably, those comparisons aren't going to end anytime soon with how well Sengun is playing this year. Sengun's struggles defensively in the past always limited his ability to fully showcase his potential because previous Rockets coach Stephen Silas seemed to have him on a short leash. Under Ime Udoka, though, he's flourishing because the offense is running more through him, and he's trusted way more in an offense that has more structure and movement than it ever had playing under the prior regime. Sengun is an uber-skilled center, which is where the Jokic comparisons came from in the first place, and so far this season, he's averaging about 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists per game, shooting the ball 59% from the field. His skill in the post is top tier, he has tremendous court vision and passing talent for a center, and he has even shown noticeable improvement defensively, which has helped the Rockets as a team improve from being ranked second worst defensively last season to ranking 6th best on that end of the floor this season. And finally, the last player shocking everyone so far this season is Cam Thomas of the Brooklyn Nets. Last year, we got our first real taste of what Thomas can do, as he dropped over 40 points in 4 separate games, but his role fluctuated so much that no one really knew if he was going to be given the full green light moving forward. This season, we saw Thomas heavily featured from the jump, and he took that opportunity and ran with it. To put it simply, Cam Thomas is a naturally gifted scorer of the basketball, who is capable of taking and making tough shots from any spot on the court. On the year as a whole, he's averaging about 27 points per game, but he suffered an unfortunate injury a few weeks ago, so if you take out the game that he got injured in halfway through, he was averaging about 29 points up until that point, with 4 games scoring over 30 points and 1 game with 45 points in there. He's been criticized for his struggles and lack of effort defensively, which is valid, but you simply cannot ignore how gifted he is at putting the ball in the basket, because every time he gets the opportunity to run the show, he seems to go off. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below which players have shocked you the most this season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.